Hello, everyone, and welcome to the session Current Affairs Important Events. In this video, we are going to talk about the last week, which started 31st of January and ended on 6th of February 2022. The week started with the economic survey being tabled in the parliament during the current budget session. The Finance Minister, Nirmala Sitharaman, on 31st of January, tabled the Economic Survey of 2021-2022. If you look at the key highlights of the economic survey, Indian economy is set for a 9.2% GDP expansion in the current fiscal. During the pandemic, the agriculture sector was least impacted, whereas the services sector has been the worst hit. But it is set to rebound by 8.2% in the next fiscal. The industrial sector is likely to grow around 11.8%. The survey also spoke about the India's balance of payment, which has been in the surplus for the last 2 years, and India's foreign exchange reserves stood at $634 billion, which can last 13.2 months. Those were the key highlights of the economic survey. On 1st of February, the finance minister also presented the union budget for the fiscal year 2022-23. The finance minister stressed on India entering into a new phase to be known as Amrit Kal, where India heads towards 100 years of independence and being in the last quarter, the last 25 years. One of the key focus during the budget was about PM Gati Shakti project. The PM Gati Shakti project envisages completion of 25,000 kilometers of national highway in 2022-23, and for the same, rupees 20,000 crore will be mobilized through innovative ways of financing. On the railways front, 400 new generation Bande Bharat trains, which are also considered to be energy efficient, will be introduced in the next 3 years. One station, one product will be popularized to help local businesses and supply chains. In fact, 100 PM Gati Shakti cargo terminals for the multinodal logistic facilities to be established in the next 3 years. Whereas the master plan for expressway will be formulated for faster movement of goods and people in the current financial year. On the agricultural front, the focus remains on promoting chemical-free natural farming and use of Kisan drones for crop assessment, digitization of the land records, and spraying of insecticides and nutrients. The chemical-free natural farming will focus on farmers' lands in 5-kilometer wide corridors along River Ganga in the first stage. The finance minister also spoke about the Ken Betwa project, which is providing drinking water supply to 62 lakh people, 103 megawatt of hydro and 27 megawatt of solar power. Allocation of rupees 1400 crore has been made for this particular project. On the health front, the 2 lakh Anganwadis will be upgraded to Saksham Anganwadis, and a national telehealth mission with a network of 23 telemedical health centers will be established. These centers will be centers of excellence with NIMHANS as nodal center and Triple IT Bangalore providing technical support. On the education front, the finance minister spoke about expanding the scope of the One Class, One TV channel program, which will enable states to provide supplementary education in regional languages for classes 1 to 12. The current format is for 12 channels, which will be expanded to 200 channels in near future. In vocational courses, to promote critical thinking skills and to give space for creativity, 750 virtual labs in science and maths and 75 skilling e-labs will also be set up. 60,000 crore rupees has been earmarked for 3.8 crore households under Har Ghar Nal Se Jal scheme. On the PM Awas Yojana front, 80 lakh houses will be completed in the next fiscal year with a budget of rupees 48,000 crore. The Prime Minister Development Initiative for Northeast, PM Divine, will fund for infrastructure and social development based on felt needs of Northeast, and an allocation of rupees 1500 crore has been provided to enable livelihood activities for youth and women. The post offices are set to enter into digital banking, and 100% of the 1.5 lakh post offices across the country will come under core banking system. And the online transfer of funds between the post office accounts and bank accounts will become feasible. The finance minister also spoke about issuance of chip embedded e-passports, which will make life easier. On the tax proposals front, the income from transfer of virtual assets are set to be taxed at 30%, which will also be about the cryptocurrencies. The fiscal deficit of 22-23 is estimated at 6.4% of the GDP. If you look at the major allocations of the funds for the schemes, the National Health Mission scheme will have 37,800 crores, Jal Jeevan Mission will have 60,000 crores, National Education Mission will have 39,553 crores, Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana will have an allocation of 19,000 crores, PM Kishan will have 68,000 crore allocated to it. The Atmanirbhar Bharat Yojana will have 6,400 crores allocated, and Pradhan Mantri Swasthya Suraksha Yojana will get a total budget of 10,000 crore. So those were the key highlights of the budget 2022. Moving on, the Winter Olympics started in Beijing, China, and Indian diplomats on the lines of United States, United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, and some other countries will go for a diplomatic boycott of the Winter Olympics. This follows the announcement of a PLA regiment commander, Hui Febao, being the torchbearer at the Winter Olympics. The commander was leading the Chinese troops during the India-China conflict at the Galwan Valley in June 2020. 90 nations with 3,000 athletes are participating in the Winter Olympics at Beijing, China. Haiti and Saudi Arabia will participate for the first time in Winter Olympics. The leader of the Islamic State terrorist group, ISIS, Abu Ibrahim al Hashmi al Qureshi, was killed in a special raid by US forces in northwest Syria. Abu Ibrahim succeeded Abu Bakr al Baghdadi, who was killed in 2019 in the same area by the US forces. The US forces attacked a house where Abu Ibrahim was hiding, and the clashes went for 2 hours, in which 13 people are reported to be killed. On the pandemic front, Jidus Cadila, which is a pharma major, has started supply of its Zykov D vaccine to the government of India. The vaccine was authorized 6 months earlier for people aged 12 and above, and it's a three-dose vaccine based on plasmid DNA technique, and which can be administered intradermally or through skin through a painless pharmajet needleless system called TROPIS. Bringing cheers, the Indian cricket team of under 19 defeated England by 4 wickets to win the under 19 World Cup 2022 in West Indies. This is the fifth time India has won the under 19 World Cup. Bawa was declared the man of the match for his all-round performance, and incidentally, Bawa happens to be the grandson of Tarlochan Bawa, who was an Olympic gold medalist in hockey in 1948. Maintaining talks to be the core for de-escalation, India abstained from voting on a procedural discussion at United Nations Security Council meet. 10 countries led by United States voted in favor of the meeting, whereas Russia and China voted against it. India, as expected, given its current ties with Russia, maintained for a neutral and, and also maintained for a de-escalation of the Ukraine issues, which has been in escalation between the two countries, Russia and Ukraine, for the last few days. On the other side, we lost the Nightingale, Lata Mangeshkar, the legendary singer, passed away on 6th of February and was cremated with full state honors. That was all for the first week of February 2022. Do subscribe to our social media platforms to get regular updates about various entrances, legal updates, and such news.